Hi. Did you know that the health industry, the food industry profits from you being sick? It does. It's been like that for generations. Ever since I think the beginning of World War II, when a lot of our men went, um, they had to go to war. And then the women had to stay here. Some of them had to pick up what the men did. And, they came up with a whole bunch of TV dinners for us to eat. Don't blame our parents and don't blame our grandparents because you know what? We have all fallen for the same crap. The reason why I'm on is because I wanted to let you know about cortisol. And I will continue to talk about cortisol because cortisol is something that is absolutely killing us. I have a book. It's part of my Hot Bitch Gospel series. But I talk about the government. I talk about commercial industry. I talk about how we have been programmed and how we pay, constantly paying for our sickness. And the government is out there and they're saying, you need to exercise, you need to eat well, but guess what? They allow these industries to produce their foods. They allow them to have the scientists to go and try to mimic our taste buds so everything tastes fantastic. And guess what? It happens to be overly processed foods. If you have thinning hair, if your skin happens to be dull, if you're in a bad mood, or if you can't focus and your memory is not there like it used to be, and you're working your butt off like a lot of people work 3 and 4 jobs within 16 to 20 hours a day. We are the only people in the world, I believe, that we work so much. When people go on vacation, a lot of times to Europe, or they go to, Australia, Asia, they see people living in their environment and they do not work anywhere near as much as we do. Our bosses, they have their bosses too. They're working as much production as possible that you can absolutely get. And guess what? The amount of money that we're making is nothing. It's peanuts in comparison to what other people, for the amount of work that we do, the amount of money that we're making is peanuts because we're doing 2 and 3 jobs at the same time. And then if we're husbands and wives or significant others and you're going to work and then you're going home and then you're starting your next job, which is to take care of the family, to either to cook, to take care of, or maybe you just have another job, it's a vicious cycle. You can't lose weight. We're constantly being told by our government that we're very fat. Diabetes is the highest that it's ever been. Well, they're allowing it to happen. They're allowing it to happen, okay? Because they allow I'm not going to go and start talking about the different industries and name of the companies because I don't want to get sued. I am not stupid, okay? But the fact of the matter is that we all know that if you take a package and if you cannot read what the ingredients are, it's processed. We need to start eating the way our grandparents used to cook. Okay? We need to figure out a way as to how we can do that kind of job, how we can work and find a way that we can relax in what we're doing. And that is up to us. That is not up to the government. That's up to us. How many doctor, nurses, television, news have said to you, you need to relax. Stress is a killer. It's a killer. No kidding. You've got this pouch that you cannot get rid of, okay? How many men and women have you seen? Because, hey, let me tell you, I'm right there with you, okay? And I happen to be a nurse for 34 years. And I'm constantly working. I'm constantly going. That's cortisol. Cortisol, it is a stress hormone. It is nothing to play with, ladies and gentlemen, okay? If something bad happens to you, a car accident, God forbid you get robbed, God forbid you fall out in the street, and that that is the way it's supposed to be. Okay. That's the way our bodies are we get this superhuman strength. That's cortisol, but you're supposed to let it go. Once everything is back to like normal with you, you need to let it go. A lot of us can't do that because when we're working and we're taking our kids to school and we have to hurry up and get to work, it's the adrenaline's going. That is the cortisol that you need to back off. There is a way that you need to relax. Everybody has a different way of doing it. Everybody has to find their way to do it. It is impossible for me to tell you how you can take care of yourself. But what I can tell you is that diabetes is the highest it's ever been in this country. The government knows it. Okay? Insurance companies know it. And they're out there and they're just throwing out the metformin and all kinds. And now we have injectables so you can lose weight. Exercise, they tell you. Drink water. Well, let me tell you something. Drinking water is one way of calming down the body. Intermittent fasting. It is the best thing that you can do to lower cortisol, to start to reverse diabetes, start to reverse your fatty liver, start to reverse a lot of different things that we have. I have a book that I wrote. It's called the Hot Bitch Gospel Series. And basically, this is reversing type 2 diabetes with the Mediterranean diet. That is one of the best diets that there is. I'm not here to sell you my book, even though my book is on my profile, okay? It does talk about cortisol. It does talk about fatty liver. It does talk about reversing type 2 diabetes. It's not as hard as you think. And if you do this, you will save so much money, okay, in foods. And if you have children, and if you do collect stamps, food stamps, let me tell you something. The government can change things. You cannot buy alcohol or tobacco with food stamps. Well, then why don't they take away the sodas and the potato chips? I mean, that shit kills you. Okay? It really does. There is such a catch-22 in this country that it is unbelievable. But you know what? You can't take care of Uncle Sam because Uncle Sam is only going to be taking care of themselves. What I can say to you is you need to learn to calm down. Take your lunch break. Don't take your lunch break in the office. See if you can get into your car. Get into your car. Put some music on. Put some, put the air conditioner on or the heat on, and close your eyes. Take deep breaths and just relax. That will start the process. When you finish eating, see if you can. At night or whenever you're home, walk around the block one time. Just walk around the block. That'll get you started. If you don't do it, no one else can do it for you. If you're in a bad mood all the time, if you're constantly rushing, let me tell you something. Stress kills. Stress kills. I've seen it in my coworkers. I've seen it in caregivers. I've seen it with women. I've seen it, with parents that are trying to take care of their families. A lot of times we're in a sandwich situation. We're taking care of our parents and we're taking care of our kids. Have our kids do some work, okay? Teach them to do things. They're not going to learn how to do it right away, but guess what? If you teach them calmly, they will be able to learn. And guess what? It's a big thing. Start when they're little. And because let me tell you, if you think you're going to start doing it when they're teenagers, you already missed it, okay? You already missed it. You really need to start taking things easy and showing your kids how to do it, because guess what? Time goes fast. And pretty soon they're going to be wearing the same shoes that you're wearing right now. Honestly. If you're the type of person who's afraid of everything and your children are watching you, you don't have to tell them, oh, go ahead. They're going to follow what you're saying. They're going to look at the way you do things and how you handle things, and they're going to do exactly the same thing. You need to control yourself. You need to watch over yourself, because if you don't do it, no one else is going to do it. Intermittent fasting, you don't have to do it right away. But you know what? If you can just learn to train your body, I'm going to tell you right now, I have blogs that are in Substack, and it's free. You can go and take a look at it. You can read. Learn to understand that we have been programmed. This country has been programming us for at least the last 3 to 4 generations, okay? When you put on that television, oh my God, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, when your great-grandparents, okay, they didn't have refrigerators. They had, I don't know what you call that, but they used to dig into the dirt, so this way they can put their food that they harvested in there, so it'll last during the winter. I don't know what they call it, but that's what they used to do. They didn't have Ubers. They didn't eat 3 times a day. They had to go out and catch their food. There was no diabetes back then. There was no heart disease back then. There was none of that stuff, okay? You had to go out and work. You had to catch your food. You had to do it. And there are still people around this country that still do that. They want to do that, okay? But the fact of the matter is that we can control. If you really understand what I'm saying to you, do you know how much money you could be saving? And how many people, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Blue Zone, but there are 5 countries in this world that live with like the Mediterranean diet. And guess what? They live to over 100 years old. There's no diabetes. There's no Parkinson's. There's no heart disease. And if there is, it's minimal. But the fact of the matter is that you can take care of yourself and save your life and your money if you start taking the time to help yourself, to watch over yourself, to understand that we're being programmed. Not only are you paying for health insurance, you're also paying a copay when you see your doctor. You have to go pay for medication, okay? And then if not, you have to go to therapy. If you go to the hospital, you have a copay there. And guess what? Everything that we have learned and we have been taking in our body, we're paying for it. Because all of us are being sick because of what we're eating, what we are being told. Breakfast of champions. Breakfast is the first important meal of the day. A lot of it is common sense. Breakfast was something that was made up, okay? Was made up so they can make money off of our breakfast, off of us. You need to understand, decades ago, generations ago, whatever the meal was from last night that was your breakfast. Because that's the way it was until we started to make money off of us. I have it in my book. I have it in my blog. Read it for free. Understand that you can control your life, but you need to do the steps yourself. You need to take care of it yourself because no one else will take care of it for you unless you do it yourself. Start small. Don't do everything fast right away. Build up to it. It works. I'll tell you because I've been noticing it. I have fell into the same thing as you. I noticed my hair was thinning. I noticed that this damn pouch, I couldn't get rid of it. How many times have you heard people say, I hardly eat. I can't get rid of this weight. That's cortisol. That's cortisol. I can't sleep. I just can't sleep. It doesn't matter what I take. Hey, let me tell you something. I had gone to the doctor for insomnia, like decades. I've taken almost every freaking pill there is out there so I can sleep. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I do sleep now. I cannot tell you how wonderful it is. But what I can say to you is that you need to learn to control your body. Remember, you go and you see the doctor 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You live with yourself 24/7. Who knows you better? Who knows your child better than you do? You're constantly watching your children. You know what works for them, what doesn't work for them. Control your life. Take it easy. Take a step back. How many times have you not gone on vacation and you have seen and you look at the people that are around you and they're not stressed as you are. They're taking their lives nice and easy. And you're wondering, like, why? Well, that's because we're being trained. You know, like Pavlov's dog? That's exactly like we Americans have been trained. And you need to understand is that we need to untrain ourselves. I'm not telling you that to back off on the stuff that you need to do at work. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you have to find a solution that you can do your job and relax while you're doing your job. Because guess what? You can only do so much. When you take that dirt nap, I got news for you. There ain't no coming back from that. When you have a heart attack or you have a stroke, some of us may be able to come back. Some of us. If you don't control your life, if you don't control cortisol, because that is a hormone that comes to us when we need it. It doesn't need to be on 24/7. And that's the problem. We have cortisol in our bodies 24/7. You need to back off. You need to be able to say, okay, if I can't do that today, it's okay. It'll be there tomorrow. Delegate. You have family members, delegate. Do things the way you know you should be doing. Take a step back, take a breath, meditate. Let me tell you something. It's hard to meditate because I've been trying to do that. But the fact of the matter is that you can do it. You need to do it. If you want to live a nice, healthy old age with your faculties working, you need to start doing it. In my 34 years of nursing, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard people say, I just don't like water. Oh, water is terrible. Oh, I drink the water with the fruit in it. Preservatives. Oh my goodness. You cannot go to any kind of fast food and have a French fry with a blemish on it. Really? You can't go and eat an apple. You have to make sure you wash it with hot water and scrub it to get that wax off. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to take care of yourself. Go to Substack. Read my blogs. They're free. They're free. And I'm going to be putting on things at least once or twice a week, and I'm going to be doing videos on different hormones. But I am talking about cortisol because cortisol is the one that has been hurting me, and it's been hurting a lot of us, millions of us. Save your money, save your life, save the lives of your children. Start teaching them to relax. I can't tell you how many children go to school, and from the moment that they get out of school, their parents have them in all kinds of different after-school activities. That's good in a way. The thing is that they need to rest. They need to relax. You need to teach your kids. I'm not telling you that you're wrong, but you have to find a way to make them relax also. Because we are trying to show them the best thing that they can do for their future. And I understand that. But I also understand that we don't want to have another generation of sick people. I wish you the best. If you have any questions, go to my messages and ask me. I'll be more than happy to tell you. There are so many different programs out there to help us. That's not going to cost us anything. Okay? Doctors are going to give you a new medication. I'm not going to get into that, but they're going to give you new medication. A lot of medications, the old ones work just fine, and they don't cost as much. But the fact of the matter is that if you can learn to understand that God gave us, if you believe in God or not, God gave us a world out there of plants that we can use to take care of ourselves and heal ourselves. You know what? You need to learn. Life is all about learning. Take care. God bless. Bye.